Hi everyone! My name is Jennifer Encidon. I am a first-year BSBA student, major in Financial Management. And today's video, I'm going to share some important information about why do countries trade, or simply, why trade? But before that, let us define what is trade. Trade is the concept of exchanging goods and services between two people or parties. We usually understand this to be the exchanging of goods for money or simply buying something. International trade is then the exchange of goods and services over national borders. And for any country, it represents a significant portion of the country's GDP or gross domestic product since there is a foreign exchange impact. So, why would countries be interested in trading their goods for other goods? This is explained in Heckscher-Ohlin theory. One condition for trade between two countries is that the countries differ with respect to the availability of the factors of production. They differ if one country, for example, has many machines but few workers, while another country has a lot of workers but few machines. And according to Heckscher-Ohlin theory, a country specializes in the production of goods that it is particularly suited to produce. So, in countries in which capital is abundant and workers are few, therefore specializes in the production of goods that in particular requires capital. Specialization in production and trade between countries generates, according to this theory, a higher standard of living for the countries involved. Now, let's talk about first the capital and workers in the production of goods and services before we go deeply in the Heckscher-Ohlin trade theory. So, in the production of goods and services, requires capital and workers, and some goods require more capital or the technical equipment and machinery, and these goods are called capital intensive. Examples are cars, computers, and cell phones. And there are other goods that require less equipment to produce and rely mostly on the efforts of the workers, and these goods are called labor-intensive. Examples of these are shoes and textile products such as jeans. Now we go back to the Heckscher-Ohlin trade theory. So its theory says that two countries trade goods with each other and thereby achieve greater economic welfare if the following assumptions hold. So there are a lot of assumptions in Heckscher-Ohlin trade theory, and I'm just going to give you two because these are the central assumptions in Heckscher-Ohlin trade theory. The major factors of production, namely labor and capital, are not available in the same proportion. This condition leads to specialization. So I've been mentioning it in the introduction of Heckscher-Ohlin trade theory. So in the Heckscher-Ohlin trade theory, the country with relatively more capital specializes, but not necessarily fully, in production of capital-intensive goods, which it exports in exchange for labor-intensive goods, while the country with relatively little capital specializes in the production of labor-intensive goods, which it exports in exchange for capital-intensive goods. According to the theory, the more different the countries are regarding the capital to labor ratio, the greater the economic gain from specialization and trade. So for example, imagine two countries that both produces jeans and cell phones. Although these two countries uses the same production technologies, one country has a lot of capital but limited number of workers, while another country has little capital but lots of workers. The country that has a lot of capital but few workers can produce many cell phones but few pairs of jeans because cell phones are capital intensive and jeans are labor intensive. The country that has many workers but little capital, on the other hand, can produce many pairs of jeans but few cell phones. According to the Heckscher-Ohlin theory, trade makes it possible for each country to specialize. Each country exports the product the country is most suited to produce. In exchange for products it is less suited to produce. So the country that has a lot of capital specializes in the production of cell phones, whereas in the country that has more labor specializes in the production of jeans. That's all for today's video, and I hope you enjoy and learned from my video. Thanks for watching.